Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host, LovelyCheesePizza here. After talking with that lovely saint of a woman over there and her allowing us to use one of these 5 beds to rest up, all of our Pokemon are back in fighting order. So welcome back to Let's Play some more Pokemon Blue as we continue moving through the Sylph building. We're going to do things a little bit in an unconventional manner, or at least it feels that way to me tonight. Because instead of just beelining it to Giovanni's place, what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way back down to the 2nd floor, and we're going to work our way all the way back up. And the reason why we're going to do that is because we did pick up the card key last episode, so it's going to grant us passage to all of those blocked off areas that we couldn't get to before. So not only will it give us, the ability to get some more experience points for our guys en route to go fight Giovanni and eventually the Saffron City Gym, but it's also going to give us access to an absolute buttload of items. I'm talking an actual full load that was stashed inside of somebody's ass. There's a lot of room in there, depending on who we're talking about. So it's going to be good. You just watch. And I bet you it starts with her. She's got to have something. There's no way with her standing over here this long that she doesn't have something for us. Eek! No! Stop! Help! Boy, this has a real rapey vibe to it already. I don't like it. Oh! You're not with Team Rocket. I thought... I'm sorry, here. Please take this. We'll never speak of it again. She's like, I'm sorry, I just... When they came in here, they told me there was going to be some crazy raping machine that was going to go by looking for all the cute women, and they said he was going to look vaguely like you, and so I hid over here by the other machines because I heard that machines are afraid of machines, which doesn't make sense because all these machines are right now. Oh. She's like, I just go away. I feel very embarrassed. By the way, what is this TM? By the way, I must know. Is it useful? No, the move. It's the move. Oh God, it's the bitch move. The thing. I mean, I'd never teach it to any of my people. I'm not a fucking soulless hack of a human being, so we're not gonna do that. But of all things to carry, why did she have that? Was she gonna use that for herself if the rape machine really did come by? She was just gonna self-destruct. You have engaged my failsafe program that allows me to blow up when a predator comes within 2 feet of me. Alright, well that's crazy. Help! I'm a self-employee! Let's fight! Why? Why are we fighting this guy? He's an employee that really wants no part in what's going on here. Maybe he's got to do it to keep up appearances. Maybe that's what it is. He's like, dude, I don't even want to fight you right now, but they told me if I didn't, that they were going to take an axe and hit me in the back of the head and kill me, cut my head off, and then feed my brain to my kids. And I can't have that. My kids are allergic to brains. They don't even understand, they'll go into crazy convulsion attacks if they have human brains. I learned about this when, on Timmy's 2nd birthday, it was Halloween, his birthday was on Halloween, and he ended up finding some human brains in his box of nerds. But he didn't realize it because it was the same color, and he ate it, and we had to go take him to the hospital, and they had to pump him full of charcoal and have him get it all out of his system, and it's just the worst. And if they feed my own brain to my kids, that would be the end of me, literally and figuratively. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna give you this piece of paper, and it's gonna have the order of every move I'm gonna do, so you can plan your attacks accordingly. And but to make it look like I didn't totally do this, I'm gonna throw some random insults at you. So don't take it personally. We'll have this thing all done in a moment. That really went off the rails quickly, I think. But that could be a realistic thing. You never know. I mean, Team Rocket's really never been known to be the murderous type, but I mean, I guess if somebody really crossed them and they woke up on the wrong side of the bed and didn't do their ritual, who knows? Maybe they could go to killing. I mean, I'm not trying to be the one that finds out. That's pretty messed up. But what do you do? Speaking of convulsions, by the way, I saw a wild thing on Friday, dude. It was weird. I didn't get to tell you about it yesterday because I didn't film anything yesterday. But I actually saw a guy have a full-on seizure, in the road on my way to work. Not in the middle of the road. That would have been even more insane. But I'll try to recreate it as best I can for you. So I'm on my way to work, and it's early in the morning. and I'm like already pretty close to being late for work, and I'm driving in the inside lane of a four-lane road, and I can see this guy probably, I don't know, probably 250 yards in front of me, and I notice that he's kind of being a little bit jerky, and he's kind of shaking a little bit, and I thought maybe it was just because he was cold, because it was pretty cold out. I had, I was blasting my heat and everything, and so I thought maybe it had something to do with that. And just as I'm getting ready to pass him, I kind of look over, and then all of a sudden, he just like full on just falls like flat, like face down in the pavement. But in quite possibly one of the worst places you could do that. He falls like face down, and to the point where his legs are still on the sidewalk, but his entire upper body is now in the bike lane in this street. And I was just like, oh my god, oh jeez. Like, what happened? And like I'm unfortunately in a place where like I can't stop and go get out of my car and go help him, because I'm in the inside lane and there's nowhere I can go. And I can't just like stop in the middle of the road and just fucking go do that. But there's also enough traffic going on that I also can't, switch lanes so that I can go do anything about that either. So my hands are kind of tied by the situation, and it's really bad, and so I was just like, oh my god, I hope this guy ends up being okay. And so I keep driving, and I just keep looking in my rearview mirror as I'm going, because I want to see, if hopefully somebody in the lane that's right next to him will be able to, get out and help him. Or, maybe have like the most amazingly coincidental situation that there just so happens to be an EMT like right next to him. Alas, that part of it didn't happen, but I'm looking back there, and I'm just... The first thing that I think of, before I even think of, I hope somebody stops to help him, is I really hope that he's able to, like, regain control of himself just enough that he can at least get himself on the sidewalk. Because, unfortunately, he was at this bus stop alone. Like, there was nobody else there. And so it was literally just him in a location where you really are kind of on your own. Like, obviously, it's a busy road, but people have, like, this ingrained thing in their mind that, people just kind of mind their own business a lot of the time when they're going out and, oh, he's gonna do it, you piece of crap, you. Oh, no! He killed me with one thingamajig left! Oh, you are a special type of evil. Oh, man. That is not okay. I'm so not okay with that. That is jacked up. I went through all that fighting, and I got literally no experience points out of that whatsoever. Oh, you fucking jackalope, you. Anywho, so, yeah, it's just like, it's in an area, it's kind of like the same thing on the freeway, like when you see somebody pulled over and they got their warning lights on and they're trying to fix a flat, like 99 times out of 100, nobody stops to help that person. And that's like another thing that I thought of in this situation is, it's a time of morning where everybody's going to work, and, people don't want to be bothered because everybody's kind of in a rush anyways, and even though there's a guy having a seizure halfway in the road, you worry that nobody's going to do anything. But the thing that I thought of before that was, I was like, oh my god, this guy's halfway in the road, like, what happens if there's, like, some, stupid-ass kid that's blasting music and, texting while he's driving and he's, like, jacking off or something, I don't know. Like, what if this guy isn't paying attention and he totally veers over and just, like, runs over his head and we've got some crazy, like, Jackson Pollock blood splatter, extravaganza going on? Like, I would go insane if I saw that happen. And so I'm sitting here just, like, I'm still looking in my rearview mirror as this is all unfolding, and I'm just like hoping for the love of God that somebody in the right lane actually stops and checks this guy out. And right as I'm, getting ready to be out of range to see what's going on, I saw a truck stop, and somebody got out of the car and went to go help him, and I was like, yes! Yes! So I really hope that guy's okay. I hope that, like, the fall that he took, didn't damage him any more than just, like, some bumps and bruises and nothing serious. I hope there wasn't any, like, brain damage, because that dude seriously went, like, just flat down, just seriously face first into the ground. And so, oh, boy, I've never seen that, though. I've never seen somebody have, just out of the blue, just a seizure, like, in public. I mean, I know that type of stuff happens probably more than we think, but I've never just seen it happen, like, you know, right in front of me on my way to work, nonetheless. And so, oh boy. And that was just the start to a very strange day all its own, because after that I had just one of the weirdest encounters that I can remember with a lady. And it was probably, I'm gonna say that it was easily probably the most petty example of somebody like basically saying, I'm gonna take my business somewhere else because of something that you did/said. Like, this is easily the pettiest example of that. And so I'll try to recreate this one as best I can too, because it's hard for me to remember things. I've been so exhausted this week from just being kind of all over the place that I feel like really scatterbrained a lot. So we'll see what we can do. So after this whole thing with the seizure happens, I go into work, and we'll give him an ice beam. I go into work, and this girl comes in, and she has her 2 kids with her, and she comes in and she's like, "Do you guys have a bathroom I can use?" And I was like, "No, we don't." And she's like, "You don't have a restroom?" And I was like, "We don't have one available, I'm sorry." And she's like, "Okay." And, like, the reason why I said that, and I guess looking back on it now, I said it came out to her, and I'll, get back to the rest of this later. It came out to her as I don't have a restroom at all, like I was lying to her or something. And believe me, we'll get into this again. So she's like, "Okay," and so she leaves. And the reason why I don't let people, like, the only people that I'll allow to use my restrooms are generally, like, paying customers, like people that are, spending a fair amount of money, or, we get, like, some older people that, they got pretty low shutter speeds, and low, sphincter fortitude, going on there in the old fire hose and or the t-shirt cannon, if you will. Shh! Can't you see I'm hiding behind these boxes that I'm taller than? It's totally working, man. This seems weird. But yeah, so, like, we don't let people use our restroom very often unless it's somebody that we know very well, or people that we feel like we can trust in that situation. Because we've had, especially more so lately, we've had people going into the bathroom to steal products, or we've had people going in there and just leaving that thing as just a godforsaken war zone. I've told you guys stories about those where, people just leave shit all over the place, or it just, it looks like somebody died in there out of their ass. Or even more recently, I had a lady that decided that she was going to use our bathroom as a changing room for herself. For whatever reason, she felt that was necessary. She comes in and this is a different story. I'll get back to the other one in a second. She comes in and she's like, "Can I use your bathroom to change for work?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, we don't really allow people to do that." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And she just kind of had like this dejected look on her face. "Oh no. Oh, it missed!" Yeah! Take that, you dick! Oh, it's amazing. Why would he have detonated himself when he knew that I dug? That's a weird move. He's like, definitely didn't calculate that one. Well, okay. That's really funny. Oh, boy. So, yeah, anywho. So, as soon as she saw... So she's like, "Well, I'm just gonna look around for a couple minutes." And as soon as she saw that I wasn't, like, watching her anymore, she, like, beelined it to the bathroom, went in there and did it anyways. And that really pissed me off. But I didn't know it right away, because I thought that she wasn't gonna, I didn't think she was gonna play me like that, but she totally did. So, she comes back out. I saw the bathroom door open, and I was like, "You did it." And I see her walk out of that room, and she's got some different clothes on, and she just proceeds to walk straight out of the store, but right as she's walking out, she shoots me this look like, "Ha-ha, gotcha, bitch." And she just gave me this smirk, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna nail you to the wall next time, because there more than likely will be one of those. I'm not physically going to, like, use a nail gun to attach her to the wall, because I'm pretty sure that's assault, brother. But yeah, so it's stuff like that, it pretty much just doesn't even, it just turns you off to the entire idea. Anywho, before I get away from myself again on this, what happened was, so I gave her that whole thing. She's like, "Okay," so she leaves. She comes back about 15 minutes later, and this is where it gets extra petty. And I'm going to try my best to recreate the dialogue because I'm still, I may not be word for word on this, but you'll get the idea. So she comes in, and she's like, I just want you to know that our last encounter really bothered me. And I was like, why do you say that? And she's like, well, first of all, I know you have a bathroom back there. And she's like, and the fact that you told me you didn't have one, well, that really pisses me off. She's like, you know, you could have just said that you don't have a public restroom, and I would have been fine with that. And as soon as she said that, the first thing that I was thinking is, why does it matter? So, because I said that I don't have a restroom that you can use, or I don't have a restroom, I guess is what I said, I don't have a restroom, as opposed to I don't have a public restroom, the end scenario for both of those things is still that you can't use it. So what does it matter whether I said I don't have a public one as opposed to I don't have one? It really doesn't make any difference at all. And so, but that's, it's whatever at that moment. So, in that situation, she's like, I just think it's really bullshit that you would sit there and lie right to my face, and I just think that, that's gonna come back and bite you someday, and it's because of that altogether that I'm just gonna take my business somewhere else. And she's like, you got that? And I was like, all right, certainly. I mean, you're entitled to do as you please. And so she's like, well, all right, so see you later. And what did he say? Oh dear, help me, please! Look at him! He's such a coward. That's really funny, actually. But, like, is it just me, or is that, like, the most petty reason to take your business somewhere else? Okay, whoop-de-doo. I get it. I didn't say I had a public restroom, I said I didn't have a restroom. But even if I would have said I don't have a public restroom, that is still saying that you are not allowed to use it. So, really, what does it matter? And so, here's the thing. So, she's going to end up taking her business somewhere else, into a place where she's going to have to drive, probably 7 or 8 times the distance to not save any money, and she's doing it just out of spite. And the funnier thing about it, too, I guarantee you within, like, a month's time, she'll be back. I'm going to say probably 80% of the people that have ever done this I'm going to take my business somewhere else jargon, I'm going to say almost 80 to 85% of the people that have done that, within a month's time they come back, because it always turns into one of these, well, I wanted to go find it somewhere else, but they ended up not having it, so, well, I'm sorry. It always ends up being one of those types of things, and that's going to be what it is in this situation. Something tells me she was probably having a really bad day. I wouldn't doubt that for a moment. I mean, when you're a parent, you have those where she had both of her kids, they were kind of being a little loud and obnoxious in the small, sample size that I got out of it, and, oh yeah, ice is good with them, okay. And so, it was probably one of those things where she was just kind of already at her boiling point anyways just from that, and, that last thing is kind of what put her over the edge, but still, I still think that's extra petty. I mean, that is like Tom Petty, almost. So, it is what it is. So yeah, that was, I had a weird day. I had a legitimately weird day in the grand scheme of all that. And then I also had I had an older customer later that ended up having to leave the store because they told me that they peed themselves a little. And they felt perfectly okay in telling me that. Like, they had already paid for their stuff and they were on the way out, but we were kind of talking about, I don't know what we were talking about. It was an older gentleman, and he's like, he stopped, like, mid-sentence to tell me this, too. He was talking about something, all of a sudden he's like, well, sorry, young man, but I've got to go. The dam broke. I was like, I was like, oh, that's not good. He's like, yep, front of my pants are getting a little wet. And so he's like, I gotta go. And he just, like, shuffled out the door. And I just stood there like, did what I think just happened? Did that really just happen? Did that guy seriously just piss himself? And, yeah. That's exactly what happened. So, yep. That was a weird thing. We're gonna fight this one guy here, and then we'll call it good for the evening. But, People, man. People. A weird life. It's a weird life sometimes out there. Let's see if we can keep rolling with the good times here. We're getting closer, man. Level 35. That's when it happens. So 3 levels to go, and then we'll finally be able to evolve and really make Tabanero probably one of the best people in our roster. So, I mean, I would say that, you know, I would say Vaporeon's probably still better naturally, but still looking pretty good. We'll get the half XP here, and we'll switch out for. I need to get Neo. Like, Neo went from being kind of our anchor to being at the bottom of the barrel now, but he doesn't have an advantage anywhere in here, and so I'm just gonna say no to drugs for now, and we'll go with Drain. There will be an opportunity for Neo to kind of climb back up the ladder again, though. It's just not going to be, you know, at this particular moment. So we'll just have to do what we can. Oh, one of these days, that Ice Beam's going to get him. We're just going to make do. I'm kind of really hungry right now. I should probably do something about that. I don't know what I'm going to do, though. Let's go with Kimbo. I just now realized that's like the perfect matchup to have. Because all their electric attacks that they literally never use would actually be perfect. Because, you know, the ground typing thing, you know? Alright, well, that was easy. Yeah, this is a good way to even it all out. And he's moving up there, too. He's getting there. Magnemite. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm probably gonna regret it. He's probably gonna die again. And maybe not. Who knows? But I gotta do something for him. He's having a rough time out there. He doesn't really have like that body slam. That's like the one thing that body slam can do for you. It's just not a really high-powered attack necessarily. And I think that percentage to paralyze isn't necessarily that high either. So, what do you do? Let's go with a Leech Seed here. At least get a little bit of kickback for this. It'll have to do until we use Mega Drain for him. I should actually probably do that now. Or does he actually? I think he doesn't he learn it naturally? I don't know. Wow, two in a row on that, or 2 out of 3 on that, I guess. I'll have to go back and look at his moveset to figure out whether he learns Mega Drain, you know, just over the course of his leveling up process, or if I have to give him that TM for it. I think he learns it though. I think that's why I didn't do it in the first place. Who knows? We'll check it out here at the in-between episodes, so until then, my friends, this is gonna be good. Shoot! Okay, well, I think we're gonna be in pretty good shape, so when we come back on the next installment of Let's Play Pokemon Blue, we've only got a couple floors left to travel through. We actually made a lot of progress in this episode, so when we come back, we're going to keep moving, and perhaps have a little showdown with Giovanni at the top of the whole deal. So until then, my friends, this is your host, LovelyCheesePizza, saying thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.